how to retrieve data from a database table in JSP. So I have considered MySQL as a database environment. So I will give the clarity by considering an example. So here, this is my MySQL environment, and here I have a database that I have created. My database name is MarksDB. So how to create a database, that point already we have known. So create database name. Then after creation of a database in my SQL environment, then I will create a table and let my table name is student underscore marks table. So how to create a table, that already we have known. So this is my creating a table. So after creating a table, so I will get this structure, table structure, you see. So if I will hit run, so I will get, this is my structure of a table. So in my MarksDB database, I have a table that the table name is student underscore marks, taking registration number, name, subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, subject 4. So these are the columns, and registration number I have considered as a primary key. Data type varchar I have taken. Similarly, name data type I have taken varchar, and subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, subject 4 I have taken int. So in this way, first of all, we will create a table, and after that, what I have done, so I have inserted some records. Let here I have inserted 3 records. So by executing insert into table DML statement, insert into table name, then values within bracket I have given the values. So if I want to see all the records, select star from table name marks db database dot table name student underscore marks. Now I will hit run, and you see, so these are the records that I have inserted. So this is my database part. So in my SQL environment, I have created a database. Let the database name is MarksDB. So inside MarksDB database, I have created a table. So let my table name is student underscore marks. The table student underscore marks I have defined by taking registration number, name, subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, subject 4 column. So let a student having 4 subjects, and student have given the exams in 4 subjects, and their marks have displayed by taking the value of the marks that I have created a table, and their marks information that I have inserted. Now I will go to my Eclipse environment. This is my Eclipse environment, and this is my project structure. And here an external jar file that I have brought, that is my SQL connector file, because my task is I will develop a business logic that is nothing but a JSP file. Basically, we say that is a process file. So when that file will execute, so we will fetch data, we will retrieve data from student underscore marks table in MarksDB database. So definitely in my process file, I will develop JDBC code. So if the JDBC code I will develop as per my analysis, so the concept is saying in my project structure, so one external jar file that we have to bring. So this is my project structure, and this is my Eclipse environment. So my first file, that is, let my file name is marks.jsp file. So it is simply it is a form. So I have written form action equals to process.jsp, and so using table tag tr and td tag. So I have designed this form, and taking one attribute that I have taken a registration number, and this is nothing but a text box. Okay. And here you see, so form action equals to process dot JSP I have written. That means whatever the form that is coming to our picture, and when I will give the registration value, after putting the registration value, then I will click on submit button. So there is a button that I have created, and I have written, I have specified the value of the button is view. So when I will click on that view button, then process.jsp file will execute. So process.jsp file is containing business logic. So this is my marks.jsp file, and this is nothing but a form. Simply it is nothing but a form, and in this form, so one attribute will display, that is a registration number, that is nothing but a text box, and there is a command button, and that I have specified, and the value of the command button is value, sorry, view. Okay, so when I will click on view button after putting the registration number value, so process.jsp file will execute. And you see, so first of all, what I have done, java.sql package I imported, because in this file, I have to write some JDBC code for fetching data, for retrieving data from student underscore marks table. So for that, so we know that any JDBC code, when we will write, it is mandatory that we have to import a package, that is java.sql package in JSP. So in which way that we are importing java.sql package, that is called as page directive. So percentage at the rate page. So if page at the rate page import equals to java.sql.star. So basically this line is representing what? Page directive, and this line is representing we imported java.sql package. Then coming to the body section, in script let tag begin and end. So we will write my business logic. So first of all, we have what? One attribute, so that we will process our form data. You see, so already we know that how to process my form data, when get parameter method is a such built-in method which is invoking by a request object. Request is an implicit object in JSP, so it is coming from HTTP servlet request interface. So when get parameter method, when it is invoking by request object, and it is returning a string type of variable, and within bracket what I have written, so in marks.jsp, in registration number, so what I have given the value name equals to whatever I have written, same things registration number. So this particular this registration number, so I have written here, and so what it is representing, so when the registration number value any user will give, so that registration number value will assign in S1. So this is called as what? Processing form data. So how to process form data? When get parameter method, it is invoking by request object. Get parameter method is such method, it is returning a string type of variable. Then I have written my JDBC logic. So this line is what? Type for driver loaded and registered. So for name method, for name is a built-in method. When it is invoking by a class named as a class, so that's why it is a static method, we can say. So when for name method is invoking by a class named as a class, then for name method taking an argument. So that argument is driver class. It is a class name. So type for driver class name for my SQL database, and this is the path. So this parameter when I will pass within for name method, or we can say when this line will execute, type for driver loaded or registered. So this is the step number one for any JDBC program development. Then step number two, establishment of connection. So connection, basically connection is an interface. So connection object, it is representing establishment of connection. Then question is how I will get connection object. So there is a built-in method get connection. So get connection is a static method because it is invoking by driver manager class. So when get connection method is invoking by driver manager class, then it is returning connection objects. Okay, so get connection method is a such method taking three arguments. First argument is called as URL. Second argument default username, that is root in MySQL, and this is my password value at the time of installation of my SQL software. Whatever I have given the password value, that password value here I have given. And this is what considering as URL. JDBC is my protocol, MySQL is my sub protocol, my database name, localhost is my server name, 3306 is my port number, and this is my database name MarsDB. So overall first argument is called as URL. Then uh, type for driver loaded and registered, establishment of connection. Then third step is create the statement objects. So I have taken a statement object. Statement is an interface. So how I have got statement object? There is a built-in method, create statement method. Create statement is a such built-in method coming from connection interface. So when create statement method is invoking by connection object, it is returning statement object. So this is the step number 3. Then step number 4. So since my requirement is a query, because problem statement is to retrieve data from a database. So retrieving data from a database table, basically that is called as query, or select statement is called as query. So if my problem statement, our problem's task is a query, so which method I have to call? Execute query method. Execute query method is a such method coming from statement interface. That's why it is invoking by statement object. And execute query method is a such method which is returning a result set object. Result set is an interface. Okay, so execute query method within bracket. So the most important thing is, so we have written what? The required SQL statement. So this is my required SQL statement. So select star from table name, select star from student underscore marks, where registration number I have assigned in S1 here, where registration number equals to this S1. So I will retrieve data from database based on the registration number, because at the time of creation of a table, so registration number, this column, I have considered as primary key. And we know that primary key value, through primary key value, we can identify a record uniquely. So that's why based on the registration number that I have tried to retrieve data from student underscore marks table. So that's why this is the required query. Select star from table name, where condition is where registration number equals to this, where registration number equals to S1. So now this statement will execute, and the result will store in result set object, and that means result set object containing three records. So condition if condition is true, then if body will execute, otherwise else body will execute. So if result set dot next method is a built-in method. So it meaning is what? Is there any next record available? But before that I have written not. So result set containing three records, because that whatever we have the query select statement that have executed, the output of select statement have assigned in result set object. So if not result set dot next method, that means if there is no next record, then this statement will execute. Sorry, there is no marks record available, but our result set having three records, marks record is available, so else part will execute. So in else part, what I have done, very simple things that I have written. So a simple HTML code I have written. So just whatever the output that will display, just I have designed. So table border equals to 1. So whatever the output will come, so in the form of a table, then row tr, this tag representing row, then th header. So registration number, name, subject 1, subject 3, subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, subject 4. So whatever my student underscore marks table columns, so that all columns, so I have identified, and so I have highlighted, and so because else part will execute in particularly in our context, if condition is false, then else body is executing, and so else body is nothing but simple HTML statements I have written. Then this is the first row, tr begin, tr end, first row. Then next row what I have written, so next row, so JSP expression tag I have used, so for getting information. So this is the JSP expression tag. It is nothing but an output expression. So result of set object dot get string within bracket 1. So getter, get return type get string, get return type get string, get return type int. So 1 for first column, 2 for second column, 3 for third column, 4 for fourth column, 5 for fifth column, 6 for sixth column. So getter, get return type, that is called as getter, getting information. So result of set dot getter method within bracket 1, that means first column value. So in this way, so I can get all informations. Okay, so one is registration number value, then name value, then subject 1 value, subject 2 value, subject 3 value, subject 4 value. So in this way that I have taken, and it have end. So here script, you see scriptlet tag I have started, and here I had ended, because only business logic when I will write, so that logic part I will write within scriptlet tag begin and end. But here HTML code, so HTML code basically we don't write within a scriptlet tag, but else part curly bracket started, so else part is my logic part. So when HTML code I have written, so before that I ended, but after completion, so this is my curly bracket end of else part. So again I specified my scriptlet tag begin and end, because enter logic, because if from this to if else end for till end, so entire logic, so we have to write within a script let begin and end. So this is my business logic is very simple. Only one select statement I have written, and that select statement I have passed in execute query method. So this is my logic, and now I saved, and then I will go to web.xml file. So it is very simple file. Here just welcome file I have set marks.jsp file, because when I will run this project, so which form is coming first, so that corresponding file name that I will set as welcome file. So here my welcome file is marks.jsp file. So now this is my three files, marks.jsp, process.jsp, and web.xml file. Now I will go to for run. So now I will go for run. So right click on the project, run as run on server, because here Apache Tomcat is my server. Run on server, then select server name, click next button, then select project name, click on finish button. And you see, so marks.jsp, so output is coming. You go through my database environment. So registration number 101, 102, 103. So any registration number you will give any registration number value, whatever you have in your student underscore marks table in MySQL environment. Suppose I will give 102, then I will click on view button. Okay, and you see, so the data came. So this is my front end. This is my what Eclipse environment, and this output when I am executing this application, so output is displaying in a browser. And see this registration number, name, subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, subject 4, and all the marks, so it is coming from student underscore marks table inside marks DB database, so that we had developed in MySQL environment. So in MySQL environment, we have a table. In Eclipse environment, we developed a JSP application, and when that JSP application executed, so the data fetched the data retrieved from that marks DB database table, that is student underscore marks table. So this is all about of this example. So I hope everybody got clarity. Thank you.